And it is 9 o'clock in the morning here in Los Angeles. It is Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. The 6th. First Monday in October, by the way. Of October 2025 AD. Thank you, Pastor Chatelet. Raiding the stream over there on the on YouTube, no, on Rumble, whatever, you know. And sweet. I will get to your calls if you'd like to call in. 1-888-775-3773. The views expressed on this show do not represent the views of Bond, JLP, Anchor Baby, Derek, or anybody, all right? I don't even represent myself, if you think about it. Think about the mess that you say and you don't even know. There was a caller who thought that the American Indians, he called them Native Americans. I'm a Native American because I was born here. If you're born here, you're Native. You could be a Native American Anchor Baby. Born here. But he's native to Miami or wherever he was born, you know? We're looking at the beautiful sunset. Let me make that. Oh, no, I can't. Anyway, yeah, so take everything that you hear and think and see with a grain of salt. I do try to get it right. Look, the sun is obviously dipping below the horizon, which proves the spinning ball, the spinning globe. Here, let me get, if I take that off, you can see. Isn't that pretty, though? Very pretty. Yeah, the sun is not local, but shout out to the flat earthers. You know, we are flat earth friendly, but the sun is obviously dipping because the earth is spinning. So the view, nice, right on. So anyway, that's yeah, my favorite proof of the ball spinning globe Earth hurtling through space, made by God. It doesn't turn me into an atheist. It's kind of irrelevant, you know. So yeah, you can super chat in, you can call in. I gave you the phone number. You can super chat if you go to the hakereport.com. Or if you go to the buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report, I appreciate that. You're welcome to call in. Appreciate it. Nice, right? But anyway, guys, why not, right? Let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Oh, wait. Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? Let's watch the sunset together, shall we? How romantic. Look, the sun is disappearing. It's just a teeny tiny sliver. The flat earthers want you to believe that that's the sun going away further out of view, but it doesn't make any sense. The spinning ball is such a much more logical explanation for what we're looking at. We're looking from the, I guess, Venice Pier or something. Very nice. So that was March 2025. Spinning globe dips the sun. The spinning globe dips the sun below the horizon. Very nice. Anyway, if we mosey on over to the hakereport.com and peruse, a little bit of the news. I still have my September notes up. Hold on. Complicated business. And we peruse a little bit of the news. You may find that that there's a whole lot of mess going on in the world. Oh, I didn't even really talk about it, but I mentioned that all the Rite Aids are closing down. I'm kind of upset about this, honestly. Rite Aid closing down, and I think RITE. I've never liked this term. Rite Aid, all Rite Aid stores have now closed. We thank our loyal customers for their many years of support. Rite Aid. I knew friends, some of my friends worked at Rite Aid. Once one of the biggest pharmacy chains in the United States announced last week they have closed their remaining 89 stores due to bankruptcy woes and insurmountable debt. I wonder if America will be closed because of insurmountable debt and bankruptcy. What a mess. Thank God for our greatest president, Trump. Here's Rite Aid, RITEAID. Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Rite Aid Thrifty? Thrifty's drugstore? And they had Thrifty's ice cream. They still have Thrifty's ice cream somewhere, different places. You can even get Thrifty's at Save On, which is now known as CVS. See, when I was a kid, Rite Aid didn't exist. It was Thrifty. And then they turned into Rite Aid. I'm like, what a dumb name. But evidently I was proven right. And Rite Aid, partly they're closing. Partly. I don't want to say it's all. Wow. 1962. Well known for its cult favorite ice cream brand, Thrifty. So was it Thrifty? It was called Thrifty. I don't know. I wonder if it was called Rite Aid back in 62 as well, just in other parts of the country. Because in SoCal, we had Thrifty. Anyway, because of all the theft, I wonder if they mentioned theft. Shoplifting. Nope. Stealing. Mob. Nothing. They don't want to mention that part. Well, maybe that's, there's all kinds of other stuff going on that's hurt them, I guess. You know, because you can get your stuff on the internet. You're competing with, like, Amazon is closing everybody down. And then they have CVS, Walgreens, Albertsons, Kroger. Those are rivals. So, and Rite Aid's kind of ghetto. Even Walgreens is kind of ghetto sometimes, depending on where you are. Terrible. Anyway, the views expressed on the Hake Report don't respect. No endorsement nor opposition implied. Was Rite Aid originally Thrifty? Let's real quick find out about this because it's bugging me. Thrifty Payless. No, Thrifty was not the original name for Rite Aid. Rather, Rite Aid acquired Thrifty drugstore chain in 96. Oh. And converted its stores to the Rite Aid name by 1998. See? Rite Aid itself was founded in 1962 in PA, Pennsylvania, as Thrift D Discount Center. Oh. Later shortened to Rite Aid. That's not a shortening, that's a complete change. But it is shorter. But it's also a complete change too. Huh. Thrift, one word, and then the letter D, Discount Center. Oh. Who knew? And then changed to Rite Aid Corporation in 68. Okay, so Thrifty Drugstore, West Coast Company, 1929. Wow. And then became known for their Thrifty ice cream brand. You know, you get the gallon of ice cream. Pretty cheap, too. Sweet. Pardon me. Okay, so, what? Thrifty Payless? I knew Payless. Oh, wow, that logo takes me back. Thrifty Payless was a pharmacy holding company. Owned Thrifty Drugs and Payless drugstores. Huh. All right, so anyway, that's it. I guess that's the way of the world. By the way, you see this Grok video of JLP? Isn't that Isn't that nice? It's fall up in here. I wonder if there's any audio. Oh, let me make sure that the audio is up. Yeah, it should be. He has his pitchfork and he's in a pumpkin patch, and the somebody pointed out that the scarecrow is getting away. Isn't that nice? Fun. I like it. 400th like. 402. Sweet. Anyway, yeah, it's fall. Is that all the news that's important? I guess that is. Let me get to some calls here. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Alex in California is on the line here. Alex, thanks for calling and holding, man. How's it going?
Hey, Kington Bear.
Hey.
You don't have to dox details, but is JLP all right?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
It was a pre-planned thing. It's just we didn't know exactly what time he was going to have to take off.
Scheduling thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. I thought it was just making sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Tyler the stoner Native American dude?
Yes. He was like,
that was insane.
The Bible is about the genocide. And I just let it slide, the communism propaganda slide about the genocide. But of the so-called Native Americans, I let it all slide, actually.
Oh, you allowed him to just let it rip, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, so he
I've
thinks...
never heard that one before.
I hadn't either, and he apparently goes on the internet. He seems like a nice guy, but he seems like crazy, and that craziness on the internet can get you fired, apparently.
Yeah, there's that. He a little bit misguided, not to be judgmental, but a little bit misguided and a little bit oblivious, and also kind of makes me ashamed of being a pothead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the type that, I try to model myself as the opposite of that. I'm a secret closet smoker. I don't act like that at all.
Right.
Maybe a little slow and dumb or whatever, but not like that.
Do you have do you ever notice or get accused of having short-term memory issues?
Oh, it's definitely a thing, but you work around it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to say, I have a lot of experience speaking with natives. I play PUBG, not as often as I used to, but PUBG, you get to interact with people all over the globe, all over the flat earth, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've found that most of the natives are in the northwest, like Alaska and Canada.
Oh, yeah.
As far as him talking about them funneling down to Mexico, I guess there may be some truth to that, but in my experience, they are more like up north.
Are you from SoCal or NorCal or Central Cal?
I'm from Connecticut. I lived in Oceanside, and now I'm near San Jose.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm just.
Oceanside being down near San Diego, south, and then San Jose is. You prefer that, and then San Jose is sort of Central Cal or NorCal.
Yeah, we're about an hour south of San Francisco.
Okay.
It's an S-hole. Yep.
Did you say S-hole?
Yeah.
Yeah. San Jose is. I've been to San Jose. I don't think much of it.
It's pretty mundane as far as the city.
There's
nothing here.
And it's kind of inland, not close to the coast. Is that true?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's hot.
Kind of off track now.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say the natives. Number one.
What's PUBG, if you don't mind my asking? You mentioned...
It's like Call of Duty.
Oh, okay. All right. Video games, and so you interact with people online. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
So the natives are portrayed kind of like how women are portrayed as these like soft, clean, innocent, little dainty things.
Totally.
And but they're all about doing hallucinogenic drugs and all sorts of black magic and sacrificial stuff and chopping people in half. And they weren't these little delicate flowers that we're told they are.
Yeah.
That's my number one point. My number 2 point is like we get all these wacky stories about the origins of this country and whose land it was and who was the first here. It's the blacks, it's the natives now. The Bible is about Native Americans now. It's just like brown people, can we just take a loss, learn to take a loss, and just move on?
Right.
Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. You kind of have to accept reality for what it is, and whatever it was. We don't know the whole story. You bring up a good point that the peaceful ones were probably overrun by the non-peaceful ones.
Sure. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, because it was all kinds of different tribes, and some got along with the whites better than others, just like in South
All
Africa.
I can tell you is my experience, at least with speaking to them online, is that they're pretty much stamped out of a mold, like same personality, same voice. They're very angry, not very intelligent, usually very slow, and probably stoned or drunk. It's just not. It doesn't seem like a very good community. I don't know. That's just me looking in.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard JLP interviewed this guy, Carlisle Begay, who was a Democrat, and he turned into, from maybe Arizona or somewhere, and he turned into a Republican, I think. And he was like this sort of a serious voiced guy. And they talked about how youth suicide among the American Indians is like quite high. And it's just basically another messed up victim group, but they're really victimized by themselves and their poor living.
We don't really hear much about them.
Yeah, totally. I know.
Blacks get all the attention.
Yeah, blacks do, and then women do, and gays do, transgenders do, illegal aliens do. It's true, you never hear about the American Indians. You hear more about them from Canada, actually. They talk about, the First Nations, they call them. And the victimhood up there. Oh, they were forced into government schools to learn English. Wow.
And that
we did them a favor.
My day, I don't know. It's just crazy to care about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
At all. But yeah, my main reason I called. Have you ever been black-pilled? And if yes, what do you do to shake it off? What have you done to shake it off?
I have been where I thought it was over. It was when Obama was still in office. I didn't think, I didn't have any idea that there were young people who would be sensible. But there are a lot of young people who are somewhat sensible, right? This was before Trump came along. So that was probably when I was like, no, it's not coming back. I feel like I would argue with Jesse that all the young people are brainwashed, so it's not coming back. But I think I am kind of right about that, actually. Because even though the young people are more turned into Christianity, perhaps, and they're trying to return to manhood and all of that, they're still angry and blind and fighting and miserable. And so it's still evil versus evil. And so I guess I'm still kind of black-pilled, but it's not like it's more
like
about...
a very dark red pill?
I guess so. Yeah, it's kind of like it doesn't matter because there's nothing that I can do about it anyway. Mm-hmm. The best I can, if there is something I can do about it, it's if I'm in the light, Where if I am, Jesus called us the light of the world. If I'm the light of the world, then that's all I can do and be. And that's the best chance I have or we have at getting something to change. Not me staying in the darkness, fighting with people, trying to tell them about the Jews. Not that was ever my kick, because I wouldn't tell people that.
Why is that the first? That's suspicious. That's the first thing you went to.
Because of, I don't know, I just, for some reason, I have Andrew Anglin in my mind, and he said that that's the most important thing that we should be doing is like telling the people about the Jews. Years ago, I heard him say that. Andrew Anglin is this guy who made, he's a very famous and very good writer. He's very marginalized, Daily Stormer.
Okay, I never get into that.
Okay, so he was like a former friend of Asmodor, or I don't know what, but he said that, and I'm like, I wonder if he's right about that. Because these guys know stuff that I don't know. But anyway, like my point was about telling the truth about what's really going on, wake people up, you know? Because you get some information and it's like shocking and it changes your worldview a bit, but that's not waking up spiritually. You're still dark
I guess
spiritually.
to be more specific, I just not to be all emo.
Yeah.
Dr. Hake here, but I just feel like I'm like spinning my tires lately, and like I've dedicated myself to what I do, and I've become very, very good at it. Not to sound arrogant and cocky, but I've put a lot of work in. Feel like I've paid my dues, and it's just like nothing's going anywhere. And
Right.
like,
Right now, you're talking about your work in terms of the dogs and the drums and stuff.
Yeah, I don't even really want to specify.
Okay.
But yeah, basically,
Just in general, whatever you do, you're excellent at it.
Right, and I've put my time in, and just observing others who aren't even near like my capability, just blowing up, and I'm sitting here just in the dark, spinning my wheels, and it gets frustrating, you know. And I know not to get frustrated and have feelings and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's just I don't know how to like. Have you ever felt more like that? I guess with like your work or whatever your passion is, like you're spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere.
Yeah, a little bit. One thing I've noticed that you may have noticed too is simple genius is better, or simple is better. It's kind of like in terms of wanting actual success, like music snobs will look down on that one song from Carly Rae Jepsen that says, "So here's my number, so call me maybe." But that's a great song. It's like an undeniable pop song that everybody
stay
would
in your
love.
head for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. And, you know, there's people who are really good at and think about going viral, and it's just a simple thing that just goes viral. It's a simple thing that they do.
I hear what you're saying.
Whereas like it's like a lot of metal people turn pop, and when they turn pop, then they blow up and they do pretty well.
Well, like in my community, the funny that they go about it by doing funny stuff. So you pick like a really soft song and then play like insanely fast blast beats over it. But it's just I'm not into that. I'm into like real honest material, you know. So it's like it's just frustrating. But that's the world, you know. The world wants fake and gay everything. So it's just it can be frustrating. But I'm thinking like I'm getting older now, and it might maybe getting into teaching might be I don't know about the word successful, but maybe just a route to get on.
Yeah, you may be right about that.
I don't have any experience with that, and you know, I don't have anyone here to show me how to do it, so it's a whole nother journey.
You seem like you would be a pretty good teacher.
I think I would be. It's just it's the whole thing with everything in life is the networking and the marketing and getting out there and the people thing. I don't have that skill.
Now, a lot of times there is nothing happening, and that's good or fine. Because the people who are making stuff happen, you don't necessarily want to compare yourself to your situation to theirs. And if you're taking care of yourself, you're not in debt, or you're paying off your debts if you are in debt, or you know, basically you're making ends meet, then all is well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there. It's just, I guess I'm wanting. You know, we're not supposed to want. Wanting and comparing is hitting me a little bit.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to take up all your time here. Just wondered if there's something you ever had to shake off.
Do you feel like you're not doing something that you should be doing?
It's more like, as weird as this sounds, I feel like it's almost like a curse where I try to put my, like, let's say X and TikTok. I actually try to put my videos out on those platforms, and they physically won't let me. Like on X, I've had to reinstall it like 4 times, and it's weird stuff, you know. And
yeah.
It's like I'm being held back from my stuff's getting out in any way possible. It's like that's the Lord's plan for me, I guess. Maybe I'm not even supposed to be doing this. I don't know.
Wow, man. I don't know either.
Well, I'll sit on smoke on it and get to some more calls. Hopefully we can hear some blacks today.
Yeah, that'd be great. I wish you well, Alex. Thanks, man, as always.
Right.
Take care.
Have a good one.
You too. Let me double check. I feel like there may have been some super chats that I missed. Yeah, there was indeed. If we mosey on over to buymeacoffee.com. Oh, what did I just do? Lord. / the Hake Report. Eric bought this one. 5 coffees. And I had missed it on Friday. Because we were talking about fear. And is all fear bad? I talked about, for example, a fear of a bear that can be counterproductive. So he says justifying fear is evil, says Eric, because it traps you and your audience in the hell of the imagination. There's no such thing as practical fear. Not maybe, it is or it isn't. Fear is fear. It's all produced by unconscious thought, evil. The more bears you encounter, the better you are at dealing with them, like the animal. The lower the production of adrenaline because you're able to stay present instead of lost in time. It's the same as when Jesse says a fighter without anger would know how to knock the opponent out easier. Yeah, training and facing the fear helps you deal with it better and better and better. Nice, sir. Is that how the spirit is exorcised, driven out of you by facing it over and over and over and over and over and over again? Because God has not given us a spirit of fear, as the Bible says, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Is it driven out by practice? Who's to say? Eric, thank you, sir, for your input. Garrett bought a coffee. Are you going to talk about the ceasefire in Israel with Hamas today? I just read on the Communist News Network that it may take some days of negotiation. I don't even know if it'll happen, but I was listening to a competitor of mine who was talking about he believes it might happen, even though there's no points. There is nothing pointing to that it will happen. I heard another competitor of mine say, Netanyahu's going to do whatever he wants, and Trump always chickens out. Taco, Trump always chickens out. Shout out to that competitor. He knows more than I do, so I don't know. But, yeah, that's kind of cool that a ceasefire may happen. I was reposting on Truth Social. It's just that Trump is so obviously for what's right, you know? He's for peace. And one of my competitors pointed out that Trump does not mind being brutal, taking out Soleimani, for example, taking out a drug boat or few, an alleged drug boat, you know. He will do it. And he'll bomb whatever, mother of all bombs, and doing this or that. And yet, even the liberal media admit that he hates war. He is the most anti-war president. So here's an important statement on Hamas's response to our greatest president, Donald J. Trump's proposal. Out of keenness to end the aggression and genocide, Hamas's words for it, purportedly, being carried out against our steadfast people in the Gaza Strip, and stemming from national responsibility and in defense of the constants, rights, and higher interests of our people, the Islamic resistant movement, Hamas, Hamas is in italics, has conducted in-depth consultations with its leadership institutions, broad consultations with Palestinian forces and factions, and consultations with brothers, mediators, and friends in order to reach a responsible position in dealing with U.S. President Donald Trump's plan. After thorough study, the movement has made its decision and conveyed the following response to the mediators. Hamas appreciates the Arab, Islamic, and international efforts, as well as the efforts of U.S. President Donald Trump, calling for an end to the war in the Gaza Strip, the exchange of prisoners, the immediate entry of aid, the rejection of the occupation of the Strip, the Gaza Strip, and the rejection of the displacement of our Palestinian people from it. Oh, darn. Because, you know, I was kind of for, like, clearing out the area and letting Israel take it over. But I'm not necessarily for that. I'd rather have peace either way. Within this framework and in a manner that achieves an end to the war and full withdrawal from the Strip, the movement announces its approval of releasing all occupation prisoners, they call them. Because I noticed that Commie Nonsense was calling them hostages, and Israel is calling them hostages, which they are, but they're also occupation prisoners, whatever. So both living and remains, according to the exchange formula contained in President Trump's proposal, with the necessary field conditions for implementing the exchange. In this context, the movement affirms its readiness to immediately enter, they split their infinitive, through the mediators into negotiations to discuss the details. Movement also reaffirms its approval, the movement being Hamas, right? The Islamic Resistance Movement. Approval to hand over the administration of the Gaza Strip to a Palestinian body of independents, technocrats. Interesting, technocrats. So Hamas is surrendering their control to an independent group based on Palestinian national consensus and supported by Arab and Islamic backing. And I heard that Trump is going to be on the board maybe, and who's that other guy? He was former UK prime minister under, what's his name? When George W. Bush was in there? Tony Blair. Tony Blair. What? Haven't heard that name in a while. Anyway. As far as other issues included in President Trump's proposal concerning the future of the Gaza Strip and inalienable rights of the Palestinian people, to use American vernacular buzzwords, inalienable rights. This is tied to a collective national collective is a communist buzzword. A national position in accordance with relevant international laws. Boo, international law. Kidding around a little bit, but not fully. And resolutions to be discussed within a comprehensive Palestinian national framework in which Hamas will be included and will contribute with full responsibility, the Islamic Resistance Movement, Hamas. What a mess, huh? So Trump said, based on the statement just issued by Hamas, this was on Friday, okay? I think. Pardon me, I don't know what that ding was. I believe they are ready for a lasting peace. All caps. Israel must immediately stop the bombing of Gaza, says Trump. He probably said Gaza. So that we can get the hostages out safely and quickly, exclamation mark. Right now, it's far too dangerous to do that. We are already in discussions on details to be worked out. This is not about Gaza alone. This is about long-sought peace in the Middle East, said Trump. Or at least in your hearts. Nice. Isn't that kind of cool? So, I don't know. That was the news a while back. Anything new from Donald J. Trump? Videos and stuff like that. Trump approval with young voters. Japan. First female prime minister. Oh, Lord. Of great wisdom and strength. Oh, Lord. I'm going to repost this. Follow the Hake report on Truth Social, if you so please. And real Donald Trump. Congratulations to all. Make America great again. Right on. So we'll see what happens, man. Thank you for the super chat regarding that. We'll see what happens. Thor mode. Thor mode 9, 3 coffees. Bible written 1200 BC to 100 BC. Well, there's some AD stuff in there too, buddy. Anyway, he says colonization of America 1700 AD to 1800 AD. Case closed. That's funny, man. I don't know. Weren't there some? When was the New Testament written? New Testament written years. Okay, so the New Testament books were written. Oh yeah, but yeah, okay. I mean, no, yeah, you're talking about the Israelites, huh? The New Testament books were written between the mid-1st century, around 50 CE, Common Era, which is communist for AD, the year of our Lord, and in the early 2nd century CE, around 100 to 125 CE or AD. Oh, the earliest texts are Paul's letters, 1 Thessalonians, 50 to 52, Common Era, followed by the Synoptic Gospels, Mark, around 70, Common Era. Wow, they're brainwashing me to say Common Era instead of the year of our Lord, AD, Anno Domini. What is our Common Era? It's the year of our Lord, suckers. That's how much they ate. It's basically kind of like saying humankind instead of mankind. Please. So interesting. Paul wrote books before before Mark and Matthew and Luke and John. 90 to 95 Common Era. So was John written by John? Or was John in his hundreds when he wrote this? Because how old was John when Jesus was around? Or was it written down after years and generations of, what's that thing? Oral tradition, where it's somebody tells the story, and then somebody's like, I got to write this down. Grandpa, I got to write down Grandpa's words. The Acts of the Apostles, around 85 to 90 Common Era. Hebrews, Revelation, 1 John, other books, generally placed around the late 1st century Common Era, around 900 to 100 Common Era, AD, or even into the early 2nd century or early hundreds, right? Did you know there is no year 0? It's the year 1. And it probably wasn't called that back then. New Testament, it's 27 documents, not a single book. Composition history of roughly 50 years. Destruction of the temple in Jerusalem in 70 CE AD is a significant historical marker used to date some of the texts, such as Mark's Gospel. All right, so whatever, nice. Anyway, the point being, it wasn't the American Indians, as you may have heard on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Sweet. Well, thank you, guys. Let's review. Where have we been? Coffee from Eric on fear. Coffee from, who was that? Garrett. Thank you, sir. On Hamas and peace in the Middle East. And a coffee from Thor Mode 9 on the New Testament, the NT versus USA. Cracks me up. These crazy people. Oh, I forgot to get to Beta Legs. Or Yamum. I don't think I read this one the other day. Shout out to Beta Legs, the red-headed stepchild. I don't know if he was red-headed. I just call that to... it was chest day, by the way. It was chest day on Friday, which is not that Hake worked out his chest on Friday necessarily. I forget if I did or not. But we opened the treasure chest on the D-Live crew. So yes, shout out to Beta Legs, a faithful viewer and supporter and all that. Thank you kindly. Very nice. All right, so let me just double check on, since I'm here, what's up to Jules Verne? CE is atheist mess. I agree with you, man. Hank is rank. Does that mean I stank? What's up, guys? Rumble crew. Albert, hey. They had scribes that wrote everything down, unlike other cultures that use oral traditions. Hake. Oh, okay. The same person who corrupted the Bible wrote that Jesus was boiling in H-E double toothpicks in the Talmud. Hake, says Sir Buggy. Guy Burger. I used to think Goy just meant guy. Hey, guys. Hake, you got to have a chest first. Everybody has a chest if they're alive. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has anybody had their chest amputated and then they survived it? I'm not talking about a double mastectomy. You still have a chest just because you get your things removed, those gals. How many did you do? I've been doing like 10, 11, 12. I haven't been doing my 13. Okay, but afterwards I do like the bridge thing where you kind of like arch your back and then go back up thing afterwards. Weird, says Nugget Man. Yeah, I don't dispute it, Nugget Man. Good morning to Jim in Alaska. Hey. Thank you to Chirp Alerter 5000 and Kilo Alpha Tango. By the way, I'm wearing my Uniting the Races with Truth instead of Dividing Them with Lies. It's a JLP-related t-shirt, JessieLeePeterson.shop. By the way, JLP was wearing a t-shirt that I don't know if that design is actually available on the store. I think we can remedy that, though, very shortly, FYI. So, let me get back to the calls. Ross in New Jersey is on the line over here, I believe. Ross, are you there?
Yeah, Hake, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
I wanted to call in and talk about the left and the right a little bit.
Are you Italian?
No.
Are you black?
No.
Do you mind
I'm
my
pink.
asking what you are?
Pink.
Pink? That's
Same as you.
Say again?
Same as you, pink.
I'm not pink. I'm
Go
white.
out in the sun, you will be.
I'm tan white.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
So when I go in the sun, I turn pink.
Yeah, me too.
So left and the right. That, back in the day, like when our grandfathers were alive, the parents back then, because almost all kids had to work somewhere, like in a sewing factory, or they had to go out and work in the fields or somewhere.
The kids
Everyone worked. Everyone, yeah, the whole family.
Yeah.
So what they would do is, because most tools were trained for right-handed people, because that's, it was easier to build one tool than two tools, everyone was being forced to be right-handed. And that's where they came up with that slogan as a right. Everybody's got to be right. You got to work with your right hand. Your right hand, your knockout hand. Your right hand, your power hand.
Yeah.
Your strength hand. All that. And then I looked up how many people were born, actually left-handed to right-handed. And actually, it's 90% right-handed to 10% left-handed.
Do you know any left-handed people?
My mother was.
Nice. Yeah, I knew some. I know some left-handed people, I think. I started shooting a little bit of baskets when I used to shoot baskets with my left hand, and I got to be all right with my left hand in terms of when you practice it,
Right. But back in the day when it was a necessity, parents actually would correct their children if they started using their left hand first to pick stuff up. They would correct them.
Wow.
Because they wanted them to be able to work. They wanted them to be able to go into the world and do something. And because no tools were being made left-handed, it was kind of hard.
But I mean, there's tools where it doesn't matter. But which tools do you know any specific tools that were specifically right-handed?
Well, to come right off, like chainsaws, there's chainsaws that are set up for like the right hand versus the left hand.
Oh, okay.
Different. Guys will tell you on the job the wrenches are right-handed and left-handed too. That's kind of funny. But
Dan points out The wrenches. Dan points out that lefties smear the pen ink because they write from left to right, and then so their left hand is resting against the thing, so it's smearing the pen ink. Whereas if you're writing with your right hand, your palm is going in advance, and you may be leaving some palm grease on the paper before you write over it. But anyway, interesting.
Don't you think that has something to do with like the slogan, the same thing, like the right is right, but the left is always left behind? So they're writing from the left and smearing the ink?
Yeah, I've thought about that type of thing, especially as a kid, that right is right and left is
But the
wrong.
right's supposed to give the left hand the hand up, right? That's what marriage is all about. A woman would get married, she's your left hand now.
Oh.
You put the finger on the left finger. You know, she's your wife. You give her your left hand. She gives you her left hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A little bit. Yeah.
The right hand's supposed to lift the left, and I think that's what we're trying to do, but they don't want to get lifted.
Well, you definitely don't try to force them. Hopefully, you
Right.
know, I don't know if you're a fan of our greatest president, Trump.
I
But
look just like him.
you do?
Yeah.
Whoa. So then you're not pink, you're orange.
No, I'm not orange. I'm pink. I don't wear makeup.
Anyway, so Trump is, I think he's setting a really good example because he's saying that they're a problem. They're spreading hate, you know? I think he might have
Right.
called them the party of Satan. And
Well,
and good for him. But he's not hating them, you know? He's not hateful.
Well, that's the same thing Jesse's doing to the woman, isn't she?
Yeah. Jesse is
mean,
showing love
he-
and guidance and the truth to the ladies.
Yeah, but they're the creator. They're the one that makes the baby. Do you really want to be calling God the evil one, the demon, the person that makes the demon?
Wait, say that again. That didn't come out clearly.
Do you really want to be calling the woman the evil one, the one that makes the demon?
If it's true, and if it's helpful, then yes, you do. But who's the demon? The little child? The little demon child?
Well, that's what Jesse says we all are, right?
Yeah.
Until we find the way, right?
We're definitely identified with our demons.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that the creator is the creator. She makes the child. She's going to know what to do with it.
Yeah. Women should be forced to think more like men and be calm down.
There they are. That's why they're so confused, because they came out of the house. They were supposed to be worshipped and left in the house.
That's not the right way of turning them into men. Yeah, there's a right and wrong way to be more like a man. That's for sure.
They got to take a lot of testosterone.
No, I'm not talking about that. That's not the right way either. Isn't that so funny? Like their solutions. I was reading in the news, Ross, about how in the Supreme Court they're considering conversion therapy because Colorado banned gay and transgender conversion therapy, which is a so-called discredited practice. But what's interesting to me is that gay and transgender is like seemingly discredited on its face, you know? So like there's nothing good about that either. So anyway.
When it comes down to it, who are you going to trust when you go to sleep at night? And that's the bottom line.
You meaning who's in your house, whom you trust to be in your house?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think God only made one way to reproduce. And if we can't trust women we're sleeping with, then we're really going to be in trouble.
That's for sure, man. Which we are.
We're basically obsolete.
Who's obsolete? Men?
Yeah, because they already got the banks full of sperm.
Oh, yeah. But that's not where we get our value. We're not women that we value ourselves based on our bodies necessarily and its productions.
Well, you got to depend on your offspring to be able to carry your lineage.
Well, I don't really care that much about lineage because I don't know, I don't know if that's a brainwashing thing to where any concern about lineage has been stamped out of me, but I have never really related to that other than just like an ego thing, you know?
Well, that's what the right's all about.
What good does lineage do me? I'm going to be
Well,
dead.
it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah.
If you don't care about it, it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah.
You're just sitting on the fence watching.
I mean, it's good to make babies, I guess, or possibly good. I don't know. It's sometimes it's bad.
Well, it's with people that have giant egos that want to spread their seed.
Yeah. But some people just want to, some people don't care about that. They just want to have the S, and whatever is procreated through that is procreated through that. That's just incidental.
Well, that's because there's a market out there for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. People
and
want that.
Starting to see everything we see on YouTube, everything we go through, every day we get up and we see new stuff. It creates a new world, something we never seen before. It's news to us, but we never knew it until we learn it that day. And as we age, we see the same things repeat over and over, just with different faces and different shirts.
Now, this feels like a meandering conversation. Can we bring it back to like the purpose of the conversation? You called in about the left, people being left-handed being forced to be right-handed. And we talked about how the left and the right thinks that the left is wrong, and now the left needs to be guided by the right, like men guide their left hand, the women. And you seem like you don't agree with JLP correcting women and calling them evil.
Well, if they want to find their own way, and that's what the women's lib was all about. No, that's them finding their way, and maybe their way is back to God, maybe their way is to support the earth, maybe their way is whatever it is. But they have their choice now that they have their freedom. That's the thing. Men have no choice because we have no way to duplicate ourselves.
I mean, with women we can.
We can if they agree.
Yeah. I'm not for R word. I'm not for forcing it.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They have their choice.
Yeah.
But they have to live with their choice. And living with another woman, is, from what I understand, is extremely hard.
What's that?
When two women live together, they fight a lot.
Yeah. No, that's true, man. Lesbians, if you're talking about lesbians, they have a lot of domestic violence.
That's why I think it's just a disconnect. We got the plugs in the wrong spots. And instead of using the proper plug to go into the proper hole, you kind of get confused in this world today because we're not following God's light, which is the sun.
You got it all figured out, man.
If you get up with the sun, brother, in the morning and work with God and go sleep at night, you won't get lost.
Yeah.
Dream and think of your dreams at night. Follow your sun during the day, in the morning, and then follow it down and get a good night's sleep, and you'll wake up full of energy and ready to go again tomorrow. Pretty simple.
Do you agree that it's a spinning ball?
A spinning ball? Absolutely. It's a giant onion. All we do is continue to add layers.
Well, cool, man. Thank you, Ross.
I think all the answers are in the dirt anyway. The deeper we dig, the more answers we'll find. Not up in space.
I mean, it's good to work, if that's what you're referencing.
Well, I think we'll find a lot of answers there if we look there. The Chinese got all their things down on the bottom of the ocean looking with these giant little submarines that go down and dig up stuff. They're down there digging in the bottom of the trenches, looking for secrets in them. Yeah. And they're finding minerals down there. They're finding all kinds of stuff they never even knew that they could work with.
See, that's cool. Like the Chinese and other people, explorers.
Exactly.
I appreciate that.
We used to be too when we were kids.
Do you ever...
Remember?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely explored a bit when I was young. Do you smoke pot? You don't have to answer that.
Do I smoke pot?
Yeah.
Well, I eat vegetables. What's the difference? They're all green weed, right?
Vegetables don't give you quite the head change Normal vegetables don't give you quite the head change that pot, I heard, gives you.
I heard if you go on a vegetarian diet, you get that head constantly.
Well, they do say to avoid bread. Forget bread even exists, they say.
Well,
I mean, for people who are like diabetic or whatever. Unless you're working out in the fields. If you're working in the fields, then you need that bread, the carbohydrates.
You need protein though to build muscles. You don't really, the carbohydrates will speed you up, but you'll fall off quick. They only last for a couple hours. We used to eat baked potatoes for lunch, and they gave us energy all afternoon. We just bring a baked potato.
That's cool.
And just eat that with mustard or ketchup.
Yeah.
And we used to walk 40 miles a day cutting grass.
Wow.
And man, that would just power you up like you wouldn't believe. Just a potato.
Potatoes are America's favorite vegetable, I heard.
I know.
That's cool.
Irish is too.
Irish? Yeah.
Yeah, Irish. That's one of their strengths.
Hey, I like the Irish now.
I know you do. I'm saying they're strong.
Yeah.
Because root vegetables come from the earth. They got all your strength. The more you can eat out of the dirt that comes from the dirt, the more strength you get.
Yeah.
You bring oil up out of the ground, what do you get?
You get
power.
Energy. Power, yeah.
Right? Power. So everything that's in the earth has been put there because that's our sins getting washed clean. Every time we drop our sins from heaven, the rain's washing into the ground, and that's where the sins live. So we leave them in there, and then we need them as we got to take them out to use them for strength. But we don't want to abuse them.
Yeah. Are you in your teens or 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s or 90s?
60s.
Nice. It's good to hear from you, man.
All right. Thanks for hearing my call.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
All right. Take care, Ross.
It's a different way of thinking, right, dude?
Say again?
It's just a different way of thinking.
Yeah. That's for sure.
You know, you live outside, you learn to accept nature for what it is. When you go inside, you don't know what the environment's going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Take care.
All right. You as well. Alan in Michigan is on the line here. Alan, thanks for calling and holding, sir. What's up?
Thanks for taking my call. Fascinating calls. I was going to actually first comment on Alex. That was a good call.
Alex from California.
Yep. Right, from San Jose.
Yeah.
But Ross from New Jersey had some really wide range.
Oh, you cut out there. You might have hit mute.
It was pink.
Okay. Yeah, he had a wide-ranging call, and he said he's pink.
and I've always said that. I said, what do you call us white for? We're pink.
I don't know. I think I'm more like a yellow. Look at it. You can clearly see my freckles, by the way. Wow.
Well, I've got the same kind of freckles you do.
Nice.
Absolutely. It must come out of the same gene pool way, way, way back.
Yeah.
Interesting about I learned a lot. I always learn a lot on your program.
Nice.
10% left-handed. I thought that was interesting. My sister's left-handed.
Yeah, I didn't want to dox, but I know some left-handed people, even in my family.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Also, this thing about tools and everything being right-handed. Think about cars. Most of the world, the driver sits on the left side, and then the gear shift is in the center or on the right side. So it's kind of oriented. Now, in England, of course, left-handed people have an advantage as far as gear changing because it's the other way. Yeah. I think Japan is the same way, and I know Australia.
Is it true that most of the world has it the American way, where the driver's side is the left side, and then we shift gears here, and then I thought it was in Europe that they had the driver on the right side, and then they drive on the other side of the road too.
That's in England.
In England, okay. How about Germany? Are German?
No.
Those are normal?
The rest of Europe is all on the, driving on the right hand, as far as I know.
Okay, cool.
There's some exceptions.
Why is England so backwards?
I don't know. I don't know where that began, but you got me curious. I might do a little research on that. We'll see. I was also going to mention, you were talking about lineage, and both you and I at this present time, well, me forever, we're not really concerned about lineage. And I think that's because society, the way it is, has discouraged this, to having your lineage. I mean, in biblical times and really up until the last several hundred years, having children was a big deal. I mean, you wanted, there was no social system, no social security, no safety net. You better have kids. Okay, and the other thing, he talked about bread. And I am on a protocol now, and I have just about cut out all gluten products, and I'm losing weight. Yeah, I'm losing weight. And one of the things I've known about bread, it's been hybridized so bad that it's not good for us anymore. It's become like glue or library. That taste you had when you were a kid. It's made. You made stuff from paper mache and stuff. That's made from wheat, and it sits like it sits in your gut and just doesn't digest properly because of the hybridization.
So what is the hybridization? I've heard of, what's the hybrid? What's wrong with hybriding?
Well, the thing is, the scriptures say you're not supposed to mix linen and certain things together. And I believe that goes more than just putting seeds in the ground different. It's actually genetic engineering. And that's one of the reasons, and this is something I'm not going to talk about now, but I've been researching, and it dovetails with what Jesse and you have been talking about, but I'm going to leave it there. I really wanted to get to what Alex said and what your responses were, which I really enjoyed.
Okay.
This idea of many of your callers, and I'm thinking of Mark, who I have great respect for, and all these people that call in. There's a lot, we can talk about politics, but really on a personal level, like you said, what can you do about it? I can't do anything about bringing out the Epstein list. I can't do anything. Now, as a Christian, you can certainly witness, and I always go by what Jesus and John said. What are the first things they did? Repent. Change your mind. And that's what you do when you very gently, and I think Jesse and you both do this, are advising these people, or counseling. Counseling is a better word, these people that call in. And I always say, well, you do what you want, but here's what the scriptures say, and this is what we've learned from experience and things like that. So I really appreciated that because I have lately, and this is no coincidence, that I have heard positive things about Jesse, and from, one publication I get on a tri-weekly basis, very positive, I won't mention it, very positively talked about Jesse and his positions, and along with other people. And also, yes, I have listened to Asmodor and some of these other people.
Nice.
But, I can't listen to them all the time.
Right.
I mean, these are, if you're always talking about the oy veys, it's very tiring. I could probably stand on your program for 2 hours and talk about all the stuff I know about them. But what good does it do? I know enough. I don't need to go into the minutia of people who I believe are doing evil things. I just have to think, look in the mirror and do what you're supposed to do. So, I'm not a Johnny One Note, I think, or a single issue, have a single issue fixation on the minutia, what the enemy is doing, or who we think is the enemy. So that's where my position is. I'm sorry, I'm bloviating here.
Do you agree with me that the enemy is really within us?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Satan is us.
Yep.
I don't believe in a creature called Satan. I believe that Satan, it said it beguiled Eve. and the what was it, Peter, or I think it was Peter, says, as the serpent beguiled Eve, so, don't let the same thing happen to you. Now, though interesting, the word serpent was cursed with, on your belly you shall live. And Paul says, he says, there are people that their belly is their God.
Yeah.
So, of course it is. We have to ingest food and have it in our belly, and that's part of the whole system of Satan. It's out of our mind. Because, boy, I know I've come up with some pretty nasty thoughts of what things I'd like to do to some people. I thought, oh, careful, careful.
Yeah.
What's that coming from?
Their stomach is their God. And it's so interesting because you need food, but then you overdo it and it kills you because your stomach is your God. Your God is your stomach. And your your selfishness. You're given this body, at least for a time, by God, right? And yet you become self-seeking and it's self-destructive.
Exactly. I've even heard, I've actually gone through some, I'll tell you very frankly, before I start this protocol I'm on, which I'm delightfully losing weight.
Nice.
I went through a parasite cleanse.
Ooh.
And that was quite dramatic. And I believe that there's a lot of diseases that are connected with parasite infestation. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm not a scientist or anything, but
right.
Something to consider. Everything I say is go to the scripture, study it yourself. Don't believe me. Check me out. Be a critical thinker. Right.
Interesting, man.
And yeah. By the way, I like your shirt. It's a good color for you.
Thank you.
Uniting the races with that is good. I think I'm going to get one of those.
Right on.
I think that would be a good one to have. And along with my next coffee order, I'm running low.
Right on.
On the medium roast.
Appreciate the support of Punchy's Coffee and JCLeePeterson.shop.
And people I know would say, you're supporting a black preacher? Or I said, well, he's telling the truth, isn't he?
That's
Isn't
right.
that what you want?
Yep. I know, like, when I first came to Bond, I just cared that it was the truth that he was saying. And I could tell that he was telling the truth. So I was like, yes, it didn't even enter my mind, the fact that he was black. I mean, I knew it, but white people don't care about that. And normal people, I think, don't care about who you are. And when it comes down to it, even the racists have their favorite black, or the racist blacks have their favorite whites. It's really about the politics / spirit / intellect. If they're of the same mind, they like you. And if they're not, they don't, or they don't care either way. Nice.
Well, exactly. The system, I call it Mystery Babylon, whatever. I've used it many times. The idea is to divide and rule.
Yep.
That's how the English do it. I shouldn't say the English. I should say the Crown and the City of London, which is simply an extension of Mystery Babylon. It's to divide people and have them fighting each other, and they can stand back and say, let them kill each other. Who cares? Yeah, we're gonna loan both sides money at interest for war. We'll make a fortune, and they'll kill each other off for us.
Yeah.
We win. Well, they don't really win. I read the end of the book.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that's about all I have to say. And the black one with the white writing. That's nice too. I still like the blue. I think I prefer the blue.
Okay. Yeah, there's various colors available on the JCLeePeterson.shop. Thank you, man.
Yeah, they are 100% cotton, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. The one that I'm wearing is not. It was a tri-blend, but I do recommend the 100% cotton version. Well,
to tell you the truth, I don't know about you, but I cannot wear anything with a blend like polyester. I mean, it's like it feels clammy.
Yeah, it's too like hot. I mean, I don't know what it's like the climate is like in Michigan, but you sweat in it, and like you said, it's kind of clammy. It stinks fast. It's, I don't know. I much more gravitate toward 100% cotton.
Right. Well, again, thanks for taking my call. I guess you gave me quite a lot of time, but I want to hear some of the, a little less than an hour, and let's see who else is going to add some fun to this thing. It's all fun. Yeah, I mean, you can't take yourself seriously, right?
True.
I don't.
Right on. Thank you, Alan.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Another quick super chat over on buymeacoffee.com/ at the Hake Report, Cesar, or Caesar. Says, sup, Hake? That was a cool little spin-off watching you host the JLP show for a bit. I loved it, says Cesar Caesar. Did you know that before the KJV Bible, King James Version, King James wrote a book called Daemonologie, Daemonologie. Probably in modern English, it would probably be spelled Demonology, Daemonologie. That, according to AI, was about, quote, defending the existence of witchcraft, demons, and the supernatural against skeptics. Defending the existence, not defending that it should exist, just that it does exist, I guess. 2, justify witch trials and executions as godly and lawful acts. Wow, King James. And 3, warn Christians about the dangers of interacting with magic, spirits, or fortune-telling. It's dangerous. Watch out. Don't do it, Christians. And refute the so-called Sadducees, people who denied the supernatural. Interesting, man. Yeah. When I read about the Sadducees, I heard that they don't believe in the resurrection. Essentially, it's both a religious defense and a manual for identifying and punishing witches. Talk about defending the faith, huh? Laughing face with tears. Have a great week, everybody. 10 celebration hands and 10 strong arm emoji. Nice. Thank you, Caesar or Cesar. And demons, I heard that the demon that's spelled D-A, how do you pronounce this word? Demon.
Demon.
Duh. How about this one?
Demon.
I don't know. When it has a D-A-E, I prefer to call it daemon. But not daemon. Not like the Australian. I just call it daemon. It's more like daemon. But it's cool looking little thing. It's cool when it looks cool when it's spelled that way. People spell fairies weird like that too. F-A-E. Anyway, so demon. Is a demon, what does demon define? An ancient Greek belief, a divinity. Whoa. A supernatural being of a nature between gods and humans. An inner or attendant spirit or inspiring force. So it doesn't sound like such a bad thing, necessarily. It could be bad. Archaic spelling of demon. Huh. Okay, so that's the daemon.
Demon.
Whoa! You make it sound so scary. Don't say it like that. All right, a background process that handles requests for services such as print spooling or file transfers and is dormant when not required. Whoa, that's for computers. Scary. See, it was very highly used in the 1800s to the 1850s. It waned. And then it was very low use. And then sometime like partway between the 50s and the 2019s, it started gaining again. Maybe like in the 70s, 80s, probably because of the computer stuff. And also people turned away from Christianity and turned to demons openly. Spirit, deity, or guiding force. So anyway, it sounds like an evil. I always thought of it was an evil thing. Let's see this regular spelling, demon. An evil spirit or devil. See, D-E-M-O-N. Especially one thought to possess a person, act, tormentor in hell. So what is demon? Demonology. Demonology, the study of demons or demonic belief. And how about Daemonologie, i.e., a book by James the Sixth. And so is this the same guy, really, for sure? Or are you giving me bad information? James the Sixth and First? Huh? Originally published in 1597. Whoa, look how they combined the letter A and E. As a philosophical dissertation. And so it's the same guy who wrote the King James? Whoa. Several years prior to the first publication of the King James authorized version of the Bible. King James heavily influenced from his personal involvement in the witch trials, 1590, following the execution of an alleged sorcerer in 1591. Huh. News from Scotland. Endorses the practice of witch hunting as a Christian society. King James may also have been prompted to write Demonology by an anonymous critical pamphlet, John Uppaland. Interesting. Alleging the Scottish court was bewitched. Boy, America's bewitched, isn't it? The whole West, if you will, is bewitched. The whole world is bewitched. Ah! And so this guy thought that that's how you fight it, maybe. I don't know. I can't really comment, man, but thank you for the little thing there, Caesar or Caesar. All right, so demons. Ronnie in Ohio says, my brother Hake, I was reading Psalm 139, Psalm 139 and 139. When I got to verse 21, it made me think of Mark from Los Angeles. Take a peek when you have a chance. Also, have you watched The Godfather yet? Eyes emoji. Interesting, man. No, I haven't. And you know what else, Ronnie? I was just thinking about it. You know what else I haven't watched, which is probably more important to watch? Rambo. I haven't watched any of the Rambos. Is that more important? Psalm 139, verse 21. Godfather? Rambo? Isn't Rambo, like, important to watch? Like, imagine if God forbid, if I die and I've never seen Rambo. Would I be disappointed? Is it a good movie? I heard it was good. Defending the faith. Well, I don't know. So no, I haven't watched it. Psalm 139, real quick. All right. Do I not hate them, O Lord? Yeah, I read this recently too, man. Do I not hate them, O Lord, who hate thee? And am I not grieved by those who rise up against you? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. And so that's in the Bible. And just because King David hated them, does that mean that we should hate them? Does that mean King David, right? This was probably written by David, right? Psalm 139. O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. You knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. You understand my thought from afar off. You compassed my path and my lying down. You're acquainted with my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but Lord, you know it altogether. So he knows me, you know 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 me. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. They've poisoned that phrase, you know. It used to be, it was probably like a deep phrase, and now everybody just says it. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Women. They just steal their favorite lines and make them into trite remarks. Fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are their works, and my soul knows right well. Surely you will slay the wicked, O God. Pardon my... Let me scroll down so that you don't see that ad about fasting, intermittent fasting. Surely you will slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me, therefore, you blood... Don't say this word, English kids, but he says bloody. Men, I don't know what that means. For they speak against you wickedly, and your enemies take your name in vain. David, I guess, says to God, do I not hate them, O Lord, who hate you? And am I not grieved with those who rise up against you? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. See if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Nice. Right on, I guess. So is this saying that that's the way to be? Is that how Trump is? You know how Trump, he hates, but he hates so good-naturedly. Whereas all you other guys, you other haters, you don't hate good-naturedly. You hate with a bad, ill-humored. Your ill-humored hatred is not Trump's good-humored hatred. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Yes, I do. Tennis shoe. I haven't watched any Steven Seagal movies either. Should I watch some Steven Seagal? I don't know if I've seen all the Death Wish films either, but I respect that actor. He's fun. Rest in peace. First Blood is the best. Watch all the Rambo and Van Damme. I did see some of the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies because my friend, he liked Kickboxer and Best of the Best. And I did see that other one that came out in like 95 or so about Quest or something like that. That one was all right. Hake, watch Sling Blade. You guys are telling me, yeah, Charles Bronson. That's right. Walking Roscoe. Only a couple of... I'm not really a fan of seeing bones get broken, so I'm not sure that I would like the Steven Seagal movies. But thank you, guys. Maybe I can toughen up. Whole lot of mess going on, isn't there? Okay. If we mosey back on down to the Hake report... what else was going on? Let me peruse the news real quick. Oh, yeah, they're closing down women, infant, children. WIC could run out of money. They're not closing them down, but 2 weeks remain for its funding, according to the National WIC Association. You know, before they had... This is food stamps, basically. Millions of mothers and young children may soon be without access to vital food assistance. And why do they need their food assistance? Because they've driven off the men. And they've messed up the economy so that you can't hardly make enough money to feed yourself. Although you could. I don't know if any... Is this even true? Leeching off the government. Barbie Anderson trying to conserve the milk her 3 young children drink in case she doesn't get her WIC benefits. October 15th. Barbie Anderson. She and her husband both work, but they have depended on federal food assistance program to stretch out their grocery budget since their older son was born 9 years ago. Especially important because prices are very high at the closest supermarket to their rural northern Minnesota home. A gallon of milk costed more than $5. WIC benefits her 3-year-old son receives allows her to purchase oranges and orange juice, vital to strengthening the children's immune system so they don't have to go to the doctor and pick up essential items. It's the only public assistance the family receives. I don't know about this. We don't have the money to buy milk, eggs, and everything the kids need right now, says, why are they calling her by her last name, these feminists? Barbie. And why did her husband allow her to talk to the media? I'm not sure I like this family. I'm kidding, I like them. Could run out of money within a week or two. It's a stalemate. The 50-year-old program, been around for 50 years, and the family's gotten, and the economy's gotten worse. Long had bipartisan, meaning evil, support. Serves, quote unquote, nearly 7 million pregnant women, new mothers, infants, and young children. Shown to improve families' health, so they claim. Oh, so that justifies it. Republicans, including the Trump administration, are highlighting WIC participants as among the Americans who will soon suffer from the fallout from the shutdown. Department of Agriculture told state agencies, blah, 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 blah. Lapse in funding will not receive their quarterly allocation of fiscal year 2026 money for WIC Special Supplemental Nutrition Program. Oh, SNAP. That's what it's called, SNAP. Or supplement, I don't know, for women, infants, and children. Because SNAP is another food stamps thing. I'm against women, infant, and children thing, helping them. Just so you know, doesn't do anything. That's like you guys saying you're against Israel existing. Oh, congratulations. Totally useless statement, right? But if we defunded them, then how is it both parents are working and they... Anyway, sorry, shout out. Department said they intend to allocate 150 million contingency funds, blah, 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 blah. Rebates from infant formula babies causing problems, according to the USDA guidance. Oh, remember formula was a big issue? Boo. Boo. Down with women, infants, and children. What? Down, boo. Go away. Anyway, I disavow Hake disavowing us, says Sir Buggy. WIC. WIC and the shutdowns. But that's bad. 50 years ago, let me look this up real quick. Just to get a little background. WIC program. WIC provides healthy foods. Women, infant, children. Look at that. Evil. Get this out of here. Look at these gals. Boo, boo. Ah. All right. So that's that. That's what's going on with that. WIC running out of money. I don't think that it should be funded. I don't think that it was wise. I think it was this woman feel sorry for them victimhood stuff that's counterproductive. And they found a nice, sympathetic so-called family where both the husband and wife work, and that's the only assistance that they get. Fine. I still don't care. I'm still against it. I'm just looking at what else is going on in the news. I guess I'll let you guys look along with me. So-called Supreme Court. Yeah. I was telling, who was I telling? That guy who was saying that he's pink and the right-handed need to help the left, give a hand up to the left-handed. The men need to give a hand up to the women. The Republicans need to give a hand up to the Democrats. The new Supreme Court begins today, and one of the things is Justice is going to hear the arguments over a Colorado. Colorado's been so evil lately. Colorado used to be a red state, meaning there used to be Republican, not communist. Or was Republican communist all along. Always was. Blam. The justices will hear arguments over Colorado law banning so-called conversion therapy. And I don't know anything about conversion therapy. Gay conversion therapy, right? Basically, it's like an anti-Christian thing because it's pro-gay and transgender. Supreme Court to decide if states may ban attempts to convert, quote-unquote, gay and transgender youth. A mess. So, I'm more like Trump, where I think you should have a right to try whatever you want to try. But they don't want to do that. They're pretending like, oh, they're shocking these people. They shock them. Stop being gay. You shock them. I guess. I don't know what they do. I forget. Sorry. I don't mean to make fun too badly. Joseph Fons holding a so-called pride flag. Look at this. They promote this, which is counterproductive to your health and counterproductive to society. Angry, nasty, shown, proven over and over. Again, it's like beyond all logic and good sense, right? It's not right, right? And yet they want to, and so these people came up with this thing that they think is a solution or want to try it. God, fix me inside the dangerous resurgence of ex-gay conversion therapy, right? And good thing that Commie Nonsense doesn't want me to read it, right? They want me to pay them so that I can read it. So they're calling it a discredited practice. Yeah, but you know what else is discredited? Being into this mess. So, another reason I don't trust the government or the liberal media or the Christians with their false solutions to these problems, maybe. I don't know. It's terrible. And it came all the way to the so-called Supreme Court, fighting over nothing, really. But there's no right to try. Days after returning to Washington following a summer break, the Supreme Court will turn its attention to a 6-year-old Colorado law that prohibits licensed counselors in the state from practicing so-called conversion therapy on minors. Oh, this guy is a victim. Terrible. Just a few months ago, the Supreme Court let stand a Tennessee law that banned puberty blockers and hormone therapy for minors seeking to transition to match their gender misidentity. Well, they call it gender identity. Early next year, they'll hear arguments over whether states may ban so-called transgender student athletes from playing on teams that align with their gender identity. What a mess, huh? Wolves in sheep's clothing on many sides, pretending to care about the kids. Or feeling like they care about the kids. Let's say you get banned from their conversion therapy thing. Let's say a minor kid doesn't want to be that, but he fell into that. Call Bond for counseling. 1-800-411-BOND. 1-800-411-2663. And that's not your issue. That's a symptom. The stuff that you get into is a symptom. It's not the problem. Fall into gayness? Nice, says Cloudbox. Yeah, you know what I mean, Jellybean? You like, they're fighting over something that is fighting just to fight. Anyway, so the conversion therapy. Discredited. Gay agenda. Credited. What's that thing that they do with the studies? Peer reviewed. I scoff at the world. Make sure you guys do catch American Anchor Baby. Let me set the redirect. American Anchor Baby coming up in the lab working. Calls and topics will be streaming from the lab. So it'll be his, what is it? 844-900-2229. 844-900-900. Baby, B-A-B-Y, 222, B-A-B. Y is 9, 2229, baby. 844-900-baby. So make sure you guys catch that. FYI, side note. American Anchor, baby. Get excited. Anyway, that's what happens. So watch out for the. I feel like these things with the gays and the transgenders and the Christians and all these laws and things. There's a way to live free where you're not subject to these laws, because it just has no bearing on you. That's the way to be. That's what I say. So, Anchor Baby, by the way. By the way. All right, so if we peruse what else is going on in the news. Come on, let me scroll up. I don't care about this thing. Stay clear of the courts if you can. Perhaps that's another good idea. Stay clear from the courts. Yeah, the National Guard. You know what's interesting? I think is working for Trump is that I don't believe that he's getting frustrated at these judges who are trying to block him at every pass. You know, Trump is looking out for Portland, who won't look out for themselves. He's looking out for Chicago, who won't look out for themselves. He's looking out for Memphis, who won't look out for themselves, and Los Angeles, who won't look out for themselves, and D.C. All of these crime-ridden Democrat sanctuary cities where Antifa and criminals and illegals, shout out to the illegals, I know and like illegals, are getting all scared and in their heads because they don't want the government to enforce the law for a change and do the right. They don't want the government to do its literal job, which is to enforce proper immigration laws. And so these judges are trying to prevent the National Guard from coming in. What's the harm of the National Guard coming in? If there's nothing to take care of, then the National Guard will sit there and they will pick up trash, because apparently there is something to do, because you locals won't pick up your own trash in D.C., I hear. And attacking ICE. This woman got herself shot. She seemed to be like assaulting officers with her SUV and got herself shot over nothing. Silliness. Ridiculousness. But Trump is not getting frustrated. He's just keeping at it. Shout out to our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. A living example. He's not ill-humored hating. He is good-humored hating, which is the way to, if you gotta hate, be good-humored about it. And unmoved, unshaken. And keep at it. Oh, you know what? Curly, did I read your Cashapp? James Anton Hake on Cashapp. The children of the lie, always arguing, pigs fly. I feel like I did read that. That was going on like 2 weeks ago. Thank you, sir. And over on Buy Me a Coffee. If I mosey on over here. Oh, yeah. Eric bought a coffee explaining, Hake, you asked. 10 coffees, actually. Thank you, sir. Is that how the spirit of fear is exorcised, driven out of you by facing it over and over again? No. That's how the unconscious becomes less reactive to their story. We are in a spiritual battle between good and evil, knowing and thinking. You are a spirit. Fear is an evil spirit. It's not in you. It's in the imagination. The Spirit has no story, capital S Spirit, the Holy Spirit. Thus, it cannot possess fear. My first instinct, if I ran into a bear, would be to identify with my physical form and think, I'm going to die. I'm, meaning the body, die. It's time, meaning time. I am not my body, and I never die. That's why Jesse said that Jesus didn't die. You know how they're like, oh, the Jews killed Jesus. Jesus didn't die. He went down into hell and set the captives free. The imagination produces fear. His body died, but he, anyway. If I ran into bears every day, I wouldn't think anything about it. Thus, I wouldn't identify with anything. In the spirit, the stillness of knowing, there is no story to produce fear. To bring this back to what I started with this conversation, not going into the hood at night is common sense, and how you feel about it is the lie. You know, if you, God forbid, somebody drags you into the hood, if you feel something, you're following a lie. No such thing as practical fear, says he. Right on, man. Thank you, Eric. Very generous 10 coffees explaining the spiritual, the spirit. And he's talking about the spirit of fear. Wait. Fear is an evil spirit, yeah. But it's not in you, it's in the imagination. Ah, yep. Dominating that imagination, that's for sure. Thanks again, Eric. Let me get to our greatest President Trump, or at least a topic about him. In the call from Garrett from New Hampshire. Garrett, thanks for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Good morning, James. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
So, just thinking about how everything's going and how quickly things are going and how much action is being taken. Do you think that...
You're talking about all the stuff that Trump is trying to do?
Yeah.
Clean up America, clean up the Middle East and all that stuff?
Yeah. I wanted to pick your brain about that. And do you think that, like, one of the reasons why things are happening so fast is because he isn't caring about what the repercussions are, or he knows that things are going to happen, and he's letting them happen as they go and just putting his foot forward and marching on? Yeah,
he's totally doing that. You described exactly, I think, what he's doing is he's just taking all the steps that he needs to take and leaving it up to whatever they want to do. And one of the points that he used, according to one of my competitors that I was listening to yesterday, Scott Adams said he set a deadline on Hamas, and sure enough, with that deadline, Hamas responded.
Yeah, I know.
That's how you get people to function. Sorry.
Yeah, I know I sent you a copy this morning asking if you were going to talk about that. Actually, when I was in church yesterday, we had a guest speaker who came and they talked, and they were extraordinarily direct, and it was rather refreshing to hear somebody not tiptoeing around the facts.
Yeah.
So I think that, it took a little while to see it, and I questioned him. I definitely questioned Trump as he was going through all these things, but I took a step back and stopped thinking about that. And as I'm seeing him do what he's doing, I don't think that I have many reservations on, or I don't even know if I have any reservations on what he's doing.
What did you question him about earlier, before this?
There was, it was generally like things that I let myself get wrapped up into the thoughts about, taking children away from mothers, fathers, and stuff with the border, even though I was 100% for having illegals taken to their home countries and such. But
Yeah.
the part of thought ended up getting to the idea of fathers and mothers are supposed to be there for their children, and separating them seemed weird, but it was just a thought. And while I'm not 100% about anything else like that, I'm not thinking about it anymore. And when I see things like National Guard being brought into places, I always have worry for the people that are around there and for the National Guard themselves. And it just got to a certain point where I was more worried about the well-being and not thinking about, or, well, not considering the fact that it's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah. You know, and people really make it worse for themselves. If people didn't overreact to the National Guard being there, everybody would be fine.
Yeah,
or ICE or
I think
anything.
I think that one of the things that struck me was when you, Jesse, Derek, and Nick were talking about we're talking in the subject of separating the body, the mind from who you actually are. I think that was last week. Maybe it was Thursday or Friday. And during the show that Jesse had, he was talking about separating those things and understanding that, you know, you're not your thoughts, you're not your body. So the discussion that you guys had, and I can't remember exactly the day, it was a sort of an epiphany of kind of seeing the separation of the mind from who you actually are. And so those thoughts of concern for the children, the family, National Guard, and all things like that, just gotta kind of let it happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Maybe so. It might. That's interesting that was what caused you to let that go, maybe.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice that the spirit can wake you up to calming down and seeing politics more clearly?
Yes. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. Rather than intellectual debate over the topic itself.
Well, spending too much time going through your head and getting wrapped up into those things is what causes the confusion.
Right.
And
because you're focusing on that as though it's important, and it's not.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the right thing, but it's just a certain conclusion that I'm kind of pondering on right now. Arriving at things with curiosity rather than confliction is kind of what's working for me.
Nice. So rather than judge, confliction meaning like you don't know how to judge and you feel like you want to judge, but you're not sure whether to judge it as right or wrong. You're conflicted. Some parts feel right, some parts feel wrong. But if you just stay curious and not judging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So to continue on the Hamas debate or whatever,
you got me that coffee, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So to drop a little, I know it's not Thursday, but I'll drop a little Bible thump because it's something that I ended up hearing from a guest speaker. He was talking about the verse from Zechariah that on the fourth trespass that God would, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
God would put them in their place, kind of deal. So, yeah. So I was kind of curious about, you know, the wars in the last 3 years, and then this is the fourth. So it's supposedly what some people are saying, and I mean, I don't know what to think about it. I'm not thinking about it. It's just something that's going through my mind. That this is not going to be the one that things stay silent on.
So there's going to be something's going to break?
Perhaps, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just curious about what somebody might say about that. I don't know. I'm just asking.
So in the book of Zechariah, you say that there is a fourth trespass. It's kind of like a strike 3, you're out, but in this case, it's a strike 4. The fourth trespass will not stand. And so Hamas has been trespassing Israel for 4 years.
So it's four different wars.
Okay.
What the speaker said is it's been 4 wars in 20 years, I think it was.
Oh, and so this is the 4th time. This is the last straw, and that's why Based BB is putting the smackdown on them. Sorry,
Yeah.
BB haters. No offense, BB haters. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I was just curious to hear a little bit about it.
I will. I appreciate Trump working towards peace, and
Me too.
yeah, and that's all. That's all I know. I don't know if BB's doing it right. People say, "Oh, he's doing wrong," but there's a whole lot of wrong people who are saying that he's wrong. And then there's a couple of people whom I like a lot, who say he's wrong too, and so whatever.
Yeah,
It's
I
not.
just know that you're the.
It's not even mine to judge what good does if I say he's right or if I say he's wrong. It only hurts me because I'm making a judgment.
Yeah, I just knew that you were the news guy, so I figured I'd.
Fair enough.
I'd pick your brain about it.
Yeah, I heard that Hamas wants something that's like a no-go. Like they want to be involved in the leadership or something, and that's a no-go for Israel. And so maybe we're far, maybe we're near, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's one of the things I liked about the guest speaker that ended up coming to the church I go to. They said they don't know whether or not Hamas will take the deal or anything.
Yeah.
But they're waiting to see. They're just set with the prediction that it might not be the thing. And what he said is we kind of got to be okay with whatever happens.
That's right.
It's not anything we're going to be able to do anything about.
That's right. Interesting call, man. I appreciate it, Garrett, in New Hampshire.
Excellent. Thank you, James.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Rick from Hampton, VA. Rick, thank you for calling, sir. You're live.
What's up, Brother James? What's happening with you, man?
Just wrapping up my show, man, in the last couple of minutes here. Go ahead.
Well, man. What you think about the shutdown, man? We'll be in day 5.
I think nothing of it. It's, I playfully am happy, but I know that I don't expect much real to last, I do appreciate that Trump is president during these times.
Yeah, man, because, it's like you can't find no strong men anymore, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like everybody's traumatized, don't know how to overcome their trauma, make them emotional and weak.
So true.
Man, it's hard to find an alpha male, man. I mean, whether you call him alpha or a man that stands up for what's right, is not afraid. And it just seems like most men are very feminine nowadays.
Yeah.
And look what they're doing at the Super Bowl. They're gonna bring a transgender to do the main. I tell you, the NFL, man, I am so close not to ever watch that again.
So did you? Are you saying that Are you saying that Bad Bunny is transgender?
I think so. That's what I heard. I don't know for sure.
No. I think he's just kind of loosey goosey with his morals and sexuality. Rick, I gotta run, man.
Wow, dang! I just got through, but I did call, man. I did call, my brother.
I appreciate it.
Well, okay then, Jim. Well, thanks for taking my call, man. I'll hit y'all guys up tomorrow, man. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed.
Thank you, sir. Take care, man.
Yeah, go. You
All
too,
right.
brother.
Bye. This has been the Hake Report, American Anchor, baby. He's broadcasting from away out of the studio. So take care, guys. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. Bye.